Welcome to this month's Fails of the Month, and I tell you what, we have got some big hits. So let's not waste any time, let's head into the first category and see who's going to be our winners this month. Over the bars. Starting out with the very best over the bars action. Our first contender is Travis, who really sticks this OTB with gusto. Not even my favourite GMBN race top can save you from this one, my friend. It all happens so fast, but goes to show that once physics is moving against you, it moves you quickly. Jake next with this spine-cracking OTB, with fabulous commentary from a friend who is watching on from the sidelines.
Lay down, you okay?
Great words of wisdom. There's no denying, this one is kind of horrifying. That front end hits early. The result spits Jake into a nasty death spiral, which does not look like a fun ride. At no point in learning to jump a bike did this technique ever become a good idea. Harry literally starts getting off the bike as he leaves the takeoff. He had actually jumped this a few times already, with success, but coming unclipped just before this kicker meant he had few options left than to abort. Getting bucked is always a frightening experience. Sam comes into this drop with confidence, but the rear wheel catches and a terrifying buck unfolds. Sam takes the hit into the leaves, and those leaves don't seem to offer anything in the way of a soft landing. Come on, leaves, what are you playing at? You're supposed to be there to catch us when we fall. Have you ever watched one of those amazing whips and thought, how do they get it to come back? Well, so has Toby, only he thought it midway through actually doing a whip. To be fair, it looked like this was going to be a great bit of riding, but at the sharp end, the margins are small, and Toby didn't quite get the result the intention deserved. And to this month's OTB winner, Samantha is watching on as our rider takes on this seemingly simple drop. Yet, things can get serious when the camera is pointing at you. Just look how much rotation he got, a full body front flip. A bit more speed was needed, but if it helps, here's the trophy for Over the Bars of the Month. Congratulations. When bikes attack. This is an unfortunate category to be a compare because no one wants these moments that Matthew is experiencing here. He's done all the hard work, he's put the mental toughness and physical commitment into making this trick happen. Then to rub salt in the literal wounds, the bike jumps up and attacks him from behind. Dan must be wondering what the hell happened when he woke up from this one. The bike just seems to give up on Dan and life itself. Even worse, he does it on the lip of a takeoff ramp. Not ideal at all. The crumpling of that front end is a serious malfunction. That bike should be ashamed of itself. Alex gets all his wires crossed up on this drop. Like Matthew earlier, we see the bike take huge offence in the line choice and decide to take its revenge in the form of a quick slap and then a submission attempt, UFC style. To be fair, the bike's floor work does look decent. It's just not Alex's day. Daniel is winding his way down a lovely trail here, but you know it's going to happen. But when? Each roller makes you more tense than the last, but then you see the tree stump and you know what's coming. Bucking bronco time, and the bike isn't happy about it and rears up at him like an angry cobra. Daniel can't think about much more than how to breathe in and out though. The winner of Bikes Attack this month though comes from Scott. The bike attacking is something I guess we could all prepare ourselves for, however hardly anyone sees your mate's bike as a threat. Well, this perfectly timed attack is executed to perfection. Luck wasn't with you on the day, Scott, but it is today. You are the When Bike Attacks champ. Classic tumbles. Stephen kicks us off with a classic tumble. I love these crashes because they're often harmless and usually involve a meandering opening that builds expectation. Stephen has given us a great starter with this grassy, speed-gathering little roll in the dirt. Phil has caught the bug too. He builds tension with a clear display of uncertainty at the top of a very slippy-looking run-in. The snow and cold are palpable as he gets going and starts building speed, and it all goes sideways as he hits a tree and promptly pulls a splits manoeuvre. Graceful, if nothing else. Dan has skill and determination to make this gap look doable. He nearly pulls it off, but it's a no from Dan this time. He seems disappointed with the spectacular result, albeit a failure. His exit from the bike seems to hold disappointment within it. Dan just accepts the moment and rolls away in defeat. He's still rolling now. This one is sent in by the aptly named River, who is by the seaside. These guys really do deserve the inevitable, don't they? I mean, what else could have happened? The young lad up front really does get an absolute smashing from that wave. I bet he was freezing for the rest of the day. Talking about freezing, just look at Liam here getting all tangled up with himself and being rewarded with an early bath. I guess it will save on shower time later in the day, but if nothing else, it's an all-time classic tumble. Our winner this month though is Robyn, with this perfectly structured classic tumble. He reels us in with the build-up of unwanted momentum. Then the rear end comes around to create the unretrievable position. This is followed by a rewarding slam that then raises its own game in terms of severity. A real sting in the tail. Congratulations Robyn, you are a winner. Go big or go home. Cody is our first example this week. His crash is high speed, but the slow-mo is deceptive in the first instance. It gives us a chance to enjoy this incredible compression on landing, but as the clip unfolds we start to get a better idea of how quick this dude is moving. Quentin wants in on the battle though, and his efforts are stunning. Unfortunately, it's stunning to his linkage. The hit on this one is so hard, it's amazing. It nearly took the win this month, very close to the top. This is an intense 5 second of gap jumping, 34 feet apparently. If only we knew where he ended up. Well, if it's footage we're going for, then Nathan comes in with a massive 40-foot moon booter. So much height and distance, but of course this is a failure of the month, so we know where all that amplitude is going. Into the dirt. Good looking jump though, this is so big. Connor takes the win this month though with a massive high stakes gap. He comes up just short enough to create quite the audio spectacle and still survive. I mean, he absolutely smashes into the bank and gets super bucked. It's intense. Glad you're still with us, Connor. You take the win. Leave it to the imagination. Matthew is our opener on these clips that leave an entertaining amount of detail to our imagination. Here, Matthew gets distracted on his run into a big kicker ramp, and then his fate is sealed. He gets unsettled, and as things go wrong, it looks ugly. As he disappears into the distance, we can only imagine what came next. To some extent, I'm glad we don't get to see what came next, although our info tells us it involved a broken wrist. Ouch. Sam is up for the battle with Matthew, and he isn't messing around with an aggressive little buck that gets him fired over the bars with a lot of energy. This one is a seriously nasty looking smash. Thankfully, it sounds like he came out of it in good form.
Log one! Oh, you
Oscar is on fire here as he impresses the onlookers with a big hit on this huge jump. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get the distance on this one. He nearly got the distance for the landing on the jump after that one. He disappears into the ether with just the oohs and the ahs of his admiring onlookers to keep him company. Our winner this month is Joshua with a very scary experience indeed. Our imagination is piqued with the audio after his landing, as it sounds like he's done some damage. Our info tells us his wheel was tachoed, but he was okay. Whatever the damage on the bike, this is a very scary looking moment, and it's enough to take the win this month, which is some reward at least. Wow, what a selection of riding. There were some big crashes and smashes. I tell you what, that surprised me, a lot of that. If you're out on the trail yourself, make sure you're wearing your helmet, make sure you're wearing the pads and your gloves, and you're taking it safe and steady. If you are pushing yourself, push yourself when there's other riders around, just in case you need some help to pick the bike up. And of course, maybe film it, because you could find yourself in maybe Sends of the Month next month, and maybe not fails. I hope I don't see you here, but I kind of do, if you know what I mean. Send them into the GMBN uploader. The link is there on screen, and it is down in the description below this video. So get involved with GMBN by heading over to the uploader and sending us your riding. But until next time, I'll say goodbye. Make sure you love, like and share this video on social platforms. And until next month, it's all the fails from me. See you later.